Hey, Mr. Wygant, what's up, dude? Sorry it took a while to get this to you, but congrats on getting into nurse practitioner school, and I'm kind of jealous. It's gonna be really good for you. I think a lot of physicians, nurse practitioners, PAs, they get a lot more customer front or customer patient fronting. So you got to be really verbal. So I hope some of the things that I'll show you that I've learned will help out because to realize how important it was not to just recognize text, but speak or teach it to myself in different ways and have a verbal communication with all of the patients. So, anyways, one of the reasons why I create it's not just audio files. I create my own documents off of physical and teach it to myself either in video or audio format, and then when I go back to listen to that audio, it's my own voice and I can actually visualize everything I'm teaching. And I use my tablet for everything. It's just easy and mobile. In fact, as you can see with this crazy photo on here, I use it for Photoshop. I use it for net. Take a physical book and make it into a PDF with recognizable text is Adobe Scan. I'll just show you real quick. I actually use Adobe Scan on my phone because I like to be able to just use the high resolution camera and to make sure that the page is nice and high resolution and kind of page of a physical book is flat. In fact, sometimes Chelsea, my wife, will help me out, or if I'm in a group, if people, for example, I guess it's copyright. Don't tell anybody, but you only need one book if you're going to share it between people. And if they're going to get it free, especially if tech savvy people like to have it in an ebook format. But anyway, so I'll go onto my phone. I'll show you what Adobe Scan does. You take a photo of each page. You can either do a photo in the app, but again, like I said, I don't really like how it works, so I'll take the photos first. Select the photos from the pictures you've already taken. It'll try to, but it sucks sometimes, so you gotta just re-drag the cropping. Crop it small or large if you want, and then it'll adjust the margins really well. So anyways, and I'm doing kind of slip PDF. You save it. As you save it, Adobe Scan recognizes the text, so you can word. It becomes more like an ebook, and then the second app after Adobe Scan. So once I've had the book put into PDF, and since it was 25 pages at a time, if you want, I use this website called Combined Chapter, but if the chapter is 50 pages, I want to combine the PDFs. But I have combined books, 200 pages, 200 PDF pages at a time, and it's actually really quick. Anyways, so you just share. The next app I use because email, but I also used it all the time, is Google Docs or Google Drive. Upload it to Google Drive. Then what I like about Google Drive, you can just share anything to anyone who has a Gmail account. But also, we used to do exam reviews, like exam prep, with people in real time. So a really long exam review would take 5 minutes because 30 people in my class would jump on all at the same time and chat together, and then you wouldn't miss anything. Everybody's notes and have so much more time before or to prep for the exam with a really thorough review. So anyways, after Adobe Scan, I uploaded it to Drive. It's in there. You can download it or share it. You can send it to anybody. But after Google Drive, if you're not sharing or collaborating, I go to S Note. So the Galaxy, this S Note, it is specific to Samsung, so it depends on whether you buy an iPad. This might not be applicable to you, but what I do allows me to use any pen setting, highlight. All of the lectures were on PowerPoint. We only used ebooks. We never had physical. Doing this physical book option is actually kind of new to me. Having to book. What it is, as I was going through S-Note, through the lecture, record my professor as they teach it, and each audio clip was page, the subject they were teaching, 30 minutes or 2 hours, had that professor speaking. Another thing that I really liked, I found a good photo. Let's say I found a photo that I wanted, like this one, for example. I could just pull up any photo, and then I personally, because I have a stylus on this tablet, I just download it. I just create a snapshot or a screenshot. So that right there. This will work with any link. You can create a hyperlink, but okay. So let's say you find a video you like. Hold up. So this is a pretty cool video for renal on diuretics. You just hit share, you copy the link, now it has a link, a hyperlink. You can do that from any website guidelines, the clinical guidelines for something. You can go to their website, you can get the link, and then you go back to your S-Note. There's the S-Note page you just uploaded. And then when you go in, I click edit. Now I can do almost anything I want. So, you know, highlighters, I can create the thickness or size of the highlight. I can use many different paintbrush tips, whatever. If I'm just on the pen, you know, you can switch colors. Or one thing I really love, just because I'm OCD, I can do the shape recognition. So let's say I want to outline a box. If I want to circle something, it fixes my circle. If I do a triangle, and then let's say I want to, I can either add a link, or as I'm going from one page to the next, I can add a page if I want. And then I can input things that I've downloaded. Now I have that photo that I just downloaded. I can say, oh, look, the loop of Henle. That's where loop diuretics work, Lasix or furosemide works. But right here is the still convoluted tubule, so that's where thiazide diuretics like hydrochlorothiazide work. Or over here is spironolactone, and then you can just draw it in, create your own form. You can also go to the clipboard. Right there's the link. If I want, I don't have to have it in massive text, for example, but there's the YouTube video. So next time I'm studying this, all I have to do is click on that and it pulls up the video. And this tablet, actually, I love how it does a split screen. Let me see if I can show you. And I can have S-Note up there, and then I can do the video on the bottom. Sometimes I'll show my daughter baby videos while I'm studying, or sometimes I just have the YouTube video while I'm studying in S-Note. So I really like to have the link in there for the visual. But anyways, so I can create any mnemonic or homophone that I want, kind of like memory champions. So let's say you want to create something that sounds like words or remember something through a crazy story to help it sink into your memory. Let's say I want to remember the BUN to creatinine ratio and then use it to remember how a patient might present. So there's a bun. Here's creatine. And of course, I'm not doing it pretty anymore, but whatever. And here's Alan. It's been a while. I've seen him in a while. It's actually blowing my mind how ripped he is. So Alan used to eat. So that's the range. 7 to 20 is BUN, blood urea nitrogen. 1 serving of creatine per day. This is what Alan looks like now. Alan comes into the hospital down in Blanding, or wherever it's at, and he'd been smoking some peyote. And now, well, Alan is, with this body, is going to have a naturally elevated BUN to creatinine, or actually not a ratio, not an elevated ratio, but he's just going to have high of both. So as long as his BUN to creatinine ratio is somewhere between 10 to 1 to 20 to 1, then we know that he is adequately hydrated, and then we can watch kidney function. But if he's having something like, heart issue, having a heart attack, and we need to adjust his medications, like, for example, he's on tenofovir for his HIV, so that needs to be renally adjusted, but he no longer take his Cialis, his tadalafil, because it's contraindicated in renal stories to help me recall entire guidelines. And it really sinks in, kind of like those memory champions on YouTube, because you can't forget some stupid story like that. And then it also just really helps to be able to, what was I gonna say? I forget, with people, but I can always edit it so it doesn't look as crazy. I can move stuff out of it, so oh, and that's what I was gonna say. Calculations. Let's say Alan is in the ER and I need to calculate a glomerular filtration rate, or the creatinine clearance for him. Or when it can create dimensional analysis, whatever, it allows me to do calculations really easy, and then send it to people so I can share calculations and step-by-step processes and whatever I want to do. It actually has a lot of options. So anyways, I hope that helps. It was messy, but it's helped me in my learning form, because I'm getting a document that I'm able to draw on, that I'm able to visualize. I'm trying to work it out in my mind to actually teach it to my audio, and then if I can't teach it to myself, I know I need to revisit that subject, and sometimes I'll have the audio. For example, if I want to record and also go back to my professor's explanation, and then I can reteach it, and I can teach quickly and short. So an entire subject might be 3 minutes or 5 minutes, but later on, when I jump in my car, I can plug my headphones into this, or I can go up to the car and just listen to the audio, and as my own audio is going, I'm actually visualizing and seeing things and hearing it in multiple forms, and that's really helped me in a lot of ways. I hope you do better than I did in school. Actually, the funnest part of school. I didn't like school that much, but it was all right. It's gonna here I can fill some scripts for you sometime. But anyways, dude, keep in touch. Thanks. Try to upload this and see how it works. Later.